Hello, everybody. Welcome back. This is Coast to Coast Sports. Today, we've got a little game for you. Drew's here in the studio. He's going to tell us which
Coast, baby.
NFL teams are going to make the postseason
Ooh, I'm ready.
and which of them are going to keep dreaming at home. So, we will start with the AFC, beginning with the Buffalo Bills. 9-6. They play the Patriots, and then they play the Dolphins. Currently the 6th seed. Drew, you think the Buffalo Bills are making the postseason, or are they going to keep dreaming?
They are going to make the postseason. This
All right.
Buffalo Bills team is one of the most hot teams in all of football. They had a tough game against the Dolphins. I think they're going to win that game. I think this team is very scary to play. Anybody in the postseason would not want to play the Buffalo Bills. You ask them, that's what they would say. Josh Allen at his height, and I've said this all year long, Levi. I said Josh Allen can be the best quarterback in the entire league at his best.
He definitely can.
And guys like that are so scary to play against in the playoffs, and he's getting hot right now. I mean, he's warming up, going into the playoffs. I would not be surprised if we see Bills in the Super Bowl this year. Right?
Really?
In the Super Bowl.
Wow.
I am super excited to see what this Bills team will do. This is a good team on both the offensive and defensive side of the ball. They had a really kind of rough start where they lost against bad teams.
Yeah.
And now they're starting to heat up, and I think they're going to go 2-0 to end the season, and I think they're going to be in the postseason.
Yeah, I tend to agree here. I moved them up to the top 10 in my power rankings first time in a couple months. So yeah, I think they're playing good. Next up, Drew, the Indianapolis Colts, 8-7. Gardner Minshew, man. Is he really supposed to be good? They play the Raiders.
Wazoo.
Yeah, Wazoo. They play the Raiders and then the Texans, both games at home. So Drew, it's the home field advantage, and also the fact that, neither of those opponents are very scary. Does that get the Colts into the postseason?
The Colts keep dreaming. Colts.
Oh,
the Colts gotta
man.
keep dreaming. They don't got the firepower to get it done this year.
Yeah.
Sorry, I see them going 1-1, and I don't think it's gonna be enough. I don't think going 9-8 is going to be enough to get a win. So hey, they're gonna be dreaming. They're gonna be on their pillow dreaming about next year, and I think they're in a good spot. I think Richardson's gonna come back, and he's going to lead them into the playoffs next year, and they're gonna be dreaming this one.
Yeah, tend to agree there as well. All right, next up, keeping it in the AFC South, also 8-7, tied for the division lead. The Jaguars, they got a home game against the Carolina Panthers, and then they go to Tennessee. Both winnable games. Drew, are the Jaguars going to be in the postseason?
This is really dependent on if Trevor Lawrence will play.
Yeah.
And, there's some rumors they might just shut him down for the year.
Yeah,
Have you heard
bad
that?
injury.
Yeah, so there's some rumors that they might just shut him down to risk him further injuring, himself and being out potentially some of next year.
Yeah.
But I think that'd be dumb. I think you're in a spot, you're in a position to get it done right now and go to the playoffs right now, something in the NFL, which is quite rare. And I think if Trevor Lawrence plays, they're going to be in the postseason. They are going to be dancing, and I don't think you want to play the Jaguars either. This is a team who has weapons, right?
Yeah.
Who has the quarterback, and who has a pretty good defense. This team can make a little bit of a run. They're playing two bad opponents in the year. I see him going 2-0, and I see him in the postseason.
Yeah, I think, again, if he's healthy, they're good. Most teams, I'd say, it's the Panthers and the Titans, just play the backup. But honestly, C.J. Beathard could lose both of those games. That's how much little trust I have in him. All right, last team in the South. Drew, that C.J. Stroud is cleared to play. The Texans have the Titans at home. Then they go to Indy last week of the season. Can the Texans, also 8-7, can they make the postseason?
The Texans, they're going to be dreaming too. And this is a team that I really do like. I really like Stroud, but he's been playing worse as of late.
Yeah, well, he missed the last 2 games.
Yeah,
So.
Before that, he had a couple of bad games. He
Yeah.
didn't play these last 2 weeks. So, these last 4 weeks, just not much of a Stroud after him being in the MVP conversation. And without him, the Texans are a completely different team. And I think they're going to be dreaming. Because I don't think, is Stroud playing next week?
He is, yeah, cleared to play.
I think he's cleared to play, but I don't think he's going to be cleared to be as good as he's supposed to be.
Oh, all right.
And I think he's not going to make the postseason. This is a Texans team really young. They're going to be scary down the line.
Yeah.
This year, though, they're going to be on their couches watching the games.
All right, Drew. Let's move on to the Cincinnati Bengals. Jake Browning, he got off to such a hot start, but he kind of fell apart last week against Pittsburgh. They go to Arrowhead.
Good defense.
They go to Arrowhead, and then host the Joe Flacco Browns in Week 18. So, Drew, are the Bengals postseason or keep dreaming?
I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer. They're dreaming too. Jake
Wow.
Browning, he's my guy, former Husky, but you're going into Arrowhead, one of the toughest spots to play, Levi. Against Patrick Mahomes, they just had a really bad loss. I think they're going to bounce back and beat the Bengals, and that pretty much pushes them out of the postseason. And then on top of that, I think they're going to lose against the Joe Flacco-led Browns. That team, I'm sure we'll talk about them, but that team, whew, they're fun to watch.
Well, the Browns actually don't get to be in the video because they've already clinched. So.
But I think they're going to be. I think they're going to really. I don't know. I want to see them play the Ravens.
Yeah, that would be a good game.
I mean, that would be crazy if Joe Flacco played the Ravens.
Revenge game.
Yeah, no, I think they're going to be.
All right, the Pittsburgh Steelers, Drew, 8-7 right now. They play Seattle. Then they play the Ravens, the scary Ravens team. Maybe the Ravens will bench their starters though. Are the Steelers in the postseason? Or are they going to keep dreaming?
They're going to be dreaming.
Wow, and all these teams are dreaming.
They're going to be dreaming. They're looking at the Seahawks.
Okay,
and that's going to push. I think you need 10 wins, right?
Yeah, I mean that's what it looks like.
And I think so. They have to win twice, and I think they're losing to the Seahawks. Watch our pregame show of the Seahawks versus Steelers on NW Sportscast if you want to know more about that. But it's a good team. Mason Rudolph, though, not going to get it done.
All right, so I don't think I have to say it. The Chiefs need to win one more game. They're in the postseason.
They're in the postseason.
Yeah,
and not only are they in the postseason, they still have great odds to go to the Super Bowl. They're third, according to Vegas, to win the Super Bowl still. Third.
Really? Wow.
They're third behind the Ravens and the 49ers.
I don't know if I'd put them that high.
Then it's the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Third place, and for a good reason. They still got Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce needs to figure it out. He's been playing a lot more. He's been playing pretty poorly, especially with Taylor Swift in attendance. But this team's in the play. I mean, come on now. They're beating. Who are they playing? They're beating
Cincinnati Bengals.
Cincinnati. They're beating Cincinnati.
Yeah. So Drew, I just have to point this out. You predicted. So you got the Jags winning the South. You got the Bills as a wild card. You actually didn't have another wild card. So one of these teams that you think is dreaming is gonna make the postseason.
So one of these teams, what you're trying to say is 9-8 is gonna make it.
Maybe 10-7. I don't know. I think the Texans might sneak out a couple wins.
I think the 9-8 team might make it then. If
Yeah.
I don't know the tiebreakers behind it.
Yeah, the tiebreaker. It's tough. I mean, off the top of my head, I'd go with the best quarterback.
I don't think any of those teams are that good.
Yeah, no, they're not.
So whoever sneaks in that last spot, I'd probably lean Texans, but I'm not going to. I think if you're just asking me purely off of what I think the team will do, dreaming or postseason, I think there's a higher likelihood
that all of them are.
Obviously one of them will sneak in, but I just think that
they're all.
So,
all right, well, let's go to the NFC, Drew. The NFC South. This division is going to be decided this week. The Saints going to Tampa Bay. The winner of that game wins the South, pretty much. So, Drew, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, are they in the postseason or are they going to keep dreaming?
They're in the postseason.
All right.
They're beating the Saints.
This
is a better team. They, I think they have the better quarterback right now in Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
I think they have the better weapons. I think they have, a comparable defense. This is a good team. And they're not necessarily scary at all, but hey, if they play a team like the Cowboys, in that 4 or 5 seed matchup, I don't think that the Cowboys are just going to walk over them. I mean, it's a Buccaneers team that I think they'll probably get bounced after the first round. This is a team that also, they could win a couple games. They could win a game in the playoffs, and then you just never know.
Yeah, I don't see a playoff win, but I mean,
you
think
who knows? The Cowboys who've been struggling?
I think the Cowboys roll them.
Roll them.
Yeah, they rolled them last year with Brady.
Okay.
All right, so what's interesting is the Falcons. They have a chance to get a wild card. They're 7-8. They play the Bears, and then they play the Saints. So Drew, the Falcons, if they win out 9-8, they would not have the tiebreaker over Tampa, but they could potentially 9-8 might get you a wild card. Are the Falcons in the playoffs, or are they going to keep dreaming?
They're keep dreaming. Yeah. They're dreaming. Even if they win 2 games, I don't know what the likelihood of them making the playoffs is tiebreaker wise. I don't think they're going to win the next 2 games. So you don't even have to worry about that. I think they're going to drop one to the Bears or the Saints. This Falcons team is not good, and you could argue the Bears and Saints aren't either, and that's why I think they're going to drop one of the 2 and pick up one of the other ones. I think their season's probably over when all is said and done. They're going to be dreaming.
Yeah, I tend to agree. I think the Falcons are cooked.
Yeah.
All right, so In the North, the Vikings, they were so hot, right? Kirk Cousins got injured. They stayed hot. They were winning games with Josh Dobbs, but now Nick Mullins got benched. They said they're starting rookie Jaron Hall. They play the Packers and the Lions, 2 divisional games. Are the Vikings in the postseason, or are they going to keep dreaming?
Oh man, this is a tough one for me because
Yeah.
I really want them to make the playoffs. I really
Really?
do.
Really?
I like
More
the
than your
Vikings.
Seahawks?
No, obviously not. Obviously not more than the Seahawks.
Yeah.
But over the Rams,
Oh, yeah.
For
Totally.
sure.
Totally.
they're gonna be dreaming.
Yeah.
They're gonna be dreaming. I'm not gonna spoil the rest of the video, but I don't think they're gonna get it done. I think this whole quarterback situation really unfortunate that Josh Dobbs didn't just finish out the season strong and played a few good football games instead getting benched. I think really hurt the team morale, and the Vikings will be dreaming. Hopefully, Kirk Cousins comes back next year and is ready to lead this team to a playoff push. But Vikings, they're gonna be sitting on their couch after winning 11 games last year.
I think they won 12.
12.
They won a lot last year just to lose to Daniel Jones, man. All right, 3 more left. Drew, the Green Bay Packers. They play the Vikings, then they get to host Chicago. If they win out, they're 9-8. They have tiebreakers over the Seahawks, but not over the Rams. So that they basically need to win out, and they need the Seahawks to lose 1. If that happens, Packers make it. But Drew, do you think that's going to happen?
The Packers are going to win out. They're going to win out, and they're going to put themselves in a position to get it done. But I don't think they will.
Wow.
And I think 9-8 will not do it for them because 2 10-7 teams will get in.
2-10. Okay, so then that brings us to the last 2 teams, Drew. Seahawks, they play the Steelers and the Cardinals.
Postseason.
And then the Rams play the Giants and then the 49ers.
Postseason.
The NFC West gets 3 teams in.
The NFC West gets 3 teams in.
Wow.
The Rams only need to win 1 and 2 to get
They need to win 1 to get to... No, they're at 8 right now. So they need to win both.
So it's able. But the Packers don't have the tiebreaker.
Yeah,
over
so
the
the Rams could go... They could lose to the Niners and still make it.
And I think the Niners might not even need to play that game.
Yeah,
with their
no, they
starters.
might not.
So, I see the Rams either going 1-1 or 2-0. Either way, I see them picking up a win, and I see the Seahawks going 2-0. I see the Seahawks picking up games against the Cardinals, and I see them picking up a game this week against the Steelers. And unfortunately, the Jordan Love-led Packers played really well, but also have lost to bad teams, but beating good teams. Really hard to figure out. That team will end up missing the playoffs with 9 wins. Tiebreaker, not going to get it done against the Rams. Yeah. I think the Seahawks will be the 6th seed, Rams 7th seed if the...
How does that work?
If the 49ers...
Oh, with the okay.
If the Niners beat the Rams. But if the Niners don't play all their starters, I see the Rams going 2-0 and the Seahawks flip it to the 7th.
Yeah, it's very similar to last year. Seattle and Green Bay came down to the last week of the season, and the Seahawks needed Green Bay to lose, and Green Bay did. So again, those last 2 teams kind of battling it out. They're kind of very clearly those are the 2 teams that it's like, are they good? Are they mediocre? Can they get it there or not? And right now, who has the better quarterback? I think the Seahawks do. So that's kind of what puts them over the top. All right. Well, thank you all for watching. This has been an episode of Coast to Coast Sports. Thank you all for helping grow this channel. If you want more content about football, baseball, and quite a few other sports too, but mostly NFL, MLB stuff on this channel, check us out. If you want to see our other channel, see the background. We're big Seattle guys. We got the NW Sportscast, actually a larger channel than this one, so check that one out as well. And thank you all for watching. We'll see you guys in the next one.